are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. You are driven by the...
Hello, welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. My name is Sydney and I hope you're finding beautiful, precious ways to illuminate your own path. Today I wanted to talk about my nickname, alter ego. Something I've been thinking about because although I'm quite creative and ideas just come in, sometimes I'm like, maybe it'll just be best if you beautiful precious viewers of Illuminated Disclaimer just see me talking on different tangents about different things which help me get to my higher calling in life and to my greatest good. And in turn it's beautiful because you're seeing me taking active steps to get towards my personal legend. So sometimes I have topics that I talk about specifically, sometimes I just free fall it. And because I'm freeballing it now, I'm talking more about my alter ego. I want to talk about my alter ego, I want to talk about my nickname, who I am, and who I visualize myself to be. So, long story short, my birth name is James, but now my name is Sydney. So what I essentially did was changed my first name and my middle name around. So I used to be James Sydney, now I'm Sydney James. And in the past, although I used to be James, I used to be quite shy, quite timid, didn't know what I really wanted in life, just knew that I just wanted to have an honest living, nothing high or extravagant. And then I guess the older I got into my mid-20s and I got a job in a pub, and after a while, I started getting money that I never really got before. It wasn't a lot of money, compared to today's salaries. But for someone who didn't really have a solid job and was only working part-time and getting taxed while part-time, long story, I didn't have a lot of money. I thought £300, £400 a month was good money. So when I started making double and even more, I was like, whoa. And then I realized with the money just came power and the self-respect and self-love. Now I'm saying don't chase the money ultimately, but it's good to work towards having a goal, which does involve money. A lot of us, we have fear and lack. And when we treat money as if we don't have it, then we're not gonna have the money, we're not gonna feel worthy of having that money. But when you start opening yourself up to money and you start appreciating what little money you have and making it stretch, oh, it makes wonders. It makes wonders. For example, I bought a fake gold watch from Camden Town, which is an area in North London. Watch is probably about £5, but it looked like something that was a few £100, honestly. It was nice. I started going to Primark, buying cheap shirts, which were very tight, but very cheap as well, about £10 for a collar shirt. But when I put the two together with some fake aviators for about £10-15, I looked like I had thousands in the bank. And because I started having that mindset, I started cultivating my reality. I realized I was doing things which I liked because although I did use a certain amount of money to make that happen, I didn't use a lot of it, but the money was only the salt to my palette, which was the power that I had within. Money just made me buy things which made me feel larger than life. Well, I realized I was doing things that weren't really James-like, and I was doing things that were more of an alternate version of myself, an alter ego, let's just say. And this person, I started calling Sydney. So it was funny, in college I didn't really have the name Sydney. But it was only when I was older I started saying, rah, like, that's a Sydney thing to do. A Sydney thing to do is just go out there and just be like, hey, I'm larger of life, just confident, just staring you constantly in the eye, giving you stern handshakes, being management level. James was a worker, but Sydney was someone who took charge, took control. And I guess nowadays with everything that I'm doing, I've got loads of things on the go. People come to me for advice, people look up to me, necessary regardless of the age. I'm here giving powerful speeches to people, I'm facilitating, I'm just doing things that I saw when I was James, and I was like, I could be this person. So I started living my life as an alter ego. So here's one exercise that can help you. Write down on a piece of paper just a gingerbread figure. If you want to do that, you could draw a stick person, or if you want, you could try to draw yourself, but make yourself look cool. Try to draw yourself with amazing clothes or an aura around you, like a Super Saiyan. And call this person your alter ego. Just think of an alter ego name, a name that you think is awesome, or a nickname, yeah? Then start writing positive things that you want to see within yourself. To me, it was confidence. I did a long meditation. I realized that the version of me that I want to eventually get to has so much confidence that I would just go into a room and everyone just looks, you know? And the funniest thing is, as soon as I started doing that, I started changing my psychology, just the way I approach people, just being more aware, in tune, and present, and wearing clothes that I want to wear. Because at the time of making this video, I wear a lot of ponchos out. And the thing is, I could wear clothes like this, and that's cool. But when I wear ponchos, I get a lot more positive attention, even though they're women's ponchos. But it's just about the confidence that I have when I wear it. I had dreams where I was just walking down the road in vestments and garments and ponchos. And I would just walk with so much confidence, even cars would stop and look at me, and this is in a dream. Now that I know what Sydney is capable of, I do as much as I can to get to that same level. So this is what you can do. Just visualize it on a piece of paper first. Who do you want to be? What do you want to get from the general populace when you're around them? How do you want your family and friends to approach you when you're this alter ego? What does this alter ego do? Does this alter ego go on stage and just sing at the top of their lungs? Does this alter ego continue their education? Does his alter ego drive a fancy car? Does his alter ego have thousands of pounds in a bank account? Write everything you want and just look at this piece of paper. Look at this alter ego. Look at who that person is. And I've got good examples coming up. Sorry, this one. Yeah, okay. The more you start looking and observing this alter ego, there's going to be specific instances where you want to try becoming this alter ego. When I was James, I was James, but when I had the opportunity to be uncomfortable, I was Sydney, and I did very Sydney things which just put myself out there even more. Oh, that seems like an opportunity, but I'm a bit shy. No, what would Sydney do? Sydney would take this opportunity, arms rolled up and akimbo. Now, the thing I was thinking about earlier was Breaking Bad. You get Walter White. Walter White he was just a chemistry teacher. Didn't really have much ambitions. He did in the past, but then he lost his ambitions. He became a family man, and there was just so much debt. And yeah, like a lot of people just walked all over him. But slowly but surely, he became Heisenberg. And if you watch Breaking Bad, it's actually a really good show, and I don't really watch shows like that. But the powerful thing I'm getting from this is he knew who he wanted to be. Yeah. He slowly found ways to become Heisenberg, and then eventually he found that he became Heisenberg without even knowing it. There was one point, I can't remember what episode it was, but it was the episode with the fly, and I think it was on that episode where he was just like, yeah, I'm actually Heisenberg. It's actually taken over. Points he was just Heisenberg. He did what would Heisenberg do? And then yeah, by the end of the series, he was full on Heisenberg, just being, I'll say watch Breaking Bad if you haven't watched it already. But long story short, you could do the same thing with your life. If you're feeling like you're Walter White, write your Heisenberg on a piece of paper. Write down all the things that Heisenberg has done, and slowly you will become Heisenberg. You'll start doing Heisenberg things, and before you know it, you'll do Heisenberg habits. That has been a new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. I have been Sydney. You have been amazing, and I hope you find new ways to illuminate your path. Thank you so much for watching.